In the grand theater of football, the script is rarely written. It's a place of passion, of skill, of unwavering loyalty. But what happens when the script feels inevitable? When defeat is etched onto the scoreboard and the clock has become the enemy? What happens when a team is completely beaten, utterly broken, but refuses to give up? When they stare into the abyss of failure and decide to defy fate itself? Today, we journey into the heart of the impossible. We relive the moments that tore up the script and rewrote history. These are football's greatest shocks. The most unbelievable comebacks of all time. Istanbul, May 25, 2005, the UEFA Champions League final. On one side, the regal AC Milan, a dynasty of footballing gods, Maldini, Kaká, Shevchenko. On the other, Liverpool, a team of passionate underdogs who had fought tooth and nail just to be there. The dream became a nightmare with shocking speed. 1 minute in, and the legendary Paolo Maldini volleys home. Before Liverpool could even process the blow, a masterclass from Hernan Crespo delivered to more surgical strikes. By halftime, the scoreline was a brutal, unforgiving 3-0. The hope that had traveled across a continent had evaporated in 45 minutes of footballing perfection from Milan. The Liverpool fans were silenced, their dream dissolving into a public humiliation. In the visiting dressing room, the sounds of premature Milanese celebrations could be faintly heard. Hope was not just lost. It was extinguished, but then something shifted. A quiet rebellion began to stir, not on the pitch, but in the stands. A sound of unwavering loyalty in the face of utter despair. It was a hymn of hope when all hope seemed gone. The 54th minute. A cross from John Arne Riis finds the head of the captain, the heart of the team, Steven Gerrard. He leaps, and with a flick of his neck, the ball loops over the goalkeeper, Dida. 3-1, a glimmer, and just like that, the glimmer becomes a blinding light. 3-2, the stadium is electric. The Milan players, once so composed, now look rattled, confused. What is happening? And then, the moment that sealed the insanity, penalty. The weight of a continent on the shoulders of Xabi Alonso. Dida saves, but the rebound. Alonso smashes IT into the roof of the net. 3-3. In 6 minutes of pure, unadulterated madness, Liverpool were level. They had climbed football's Everest. The heroic double save from Jerzy Dudek in extra time, followed by his spaghetti-legged antics in the penalty shootout, would seal the most improbable of victories. Liverpool were champions of Europe. They hadn't just won a match, they had performed a miracle. February 14th, 2017, a Valentine's Day massacre in Paris. Barcelona, the masters of tiki-taka, were not just beaten by Paris Saint-Germain. They were annihilated 4-0. In the entire history of the Champions League, no team had ever overturned such a deficit. The task wasn't just improbable, it was deemed impossible. The second leg was meant to be a face-saving exercise. But inside the fortress of the Camp Nou, a different narrative was being woven. A belief that bordered on delusion was taking hold. They called it La Remontada, the comeback. It started early. A scrappy Luis Suarez header in the 3rd minute. Hope. Then, a Layvin Kurzawa own goal just before the half. 2-0. A mountain still to climb, but the Parisians were beginning to look nervy. The Camp Nou was a cauldron of sound, a living entity roaring its team forward. 5 minutes into the second half, Lionel Messi, the quiet genius, calmly converts from the spot. 3-0, 1 goal away from forcing extra time. The impossible dream was becoming tangible. But then, disaster, 62nd minute. A lethal volley from Edinson Cavani, an away goal. The collective gasp of 96,000 people sucked the air from the stadium. The dream was dead. Again. Now, Barcelona needed to score 3 more. With just 2 minutes of normal time remaining, fans were streaming for the exits. It was over, but one man refused to let the dream die, Neymar Jr. An 88th minute free kick of sublime genius, 4-1, a 91st minute penalty, won and converted by Neymar under immense pressure, 5-1. The stadium was in a state of euphoric disbelief. The 95th minute, the last chance. Neymar lobs a hopeful ball into a crowded box. Time seems to stand still. Sergi Roberto, a substitute, stretches a boot. He's done it. The ball is in the back of the net. The Camp Nou erupts, 6-1 on the night. 6-5 on aggregate. Barcelona had achieved the impossible. A victory born from pure, unyielding, and irrational belief. It was and forever will be La Remontada. The date, May 26, 1999, the final act of a historic season, Manchester United versus Bayern Munich. Both teams stood on the precipice of a legendary treble, but for one, that dream was about to curdle into a nightmare. Just 6 minutes in, a clever Mario Basler free kick put Bayern Munich ahead. For the next 84 minutes, the Germans were a picture of cool dominance. Manchester United, missing their suspended midfield talismans Roy Keane and Paul Scholes, looked uncharacteristically toothless. The woodwork rattled, a savior for the English side. Peter Schmeichel, in his final appearance, was a giant in goal. But as the clock ticked past 90 minutes, the trophy was being adorned with the ribbons of Bayern Munich. The fourth officials board showed 3 minutes of stoppage time. A mere formality, but this was Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United. A team forged in fire and belief, a team that simply did not know when it was beaten. A late corner, David Beckham, the master of the dead ball, jogs over. The cross is whipped in, a desperate scramble. It's cleared, but only as far as Ryan Giggs. He scuffs his shot. It's spinning wide, but Teddy Sheringham is there. He swivels. He scores. In the first minute of injury time, Manchester United have found an equalizer, but they weren't done. The shell-shocked Germans could barely restart the game before United won another corner. Beckham again, a carbon copy of the first. He sends it soaring into the box. Sheringham gets a flick on. And there's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the baby-faced assassin. He sticks out a foot. He's scored. In 101 seconds of footballing pandemonium, Manchester United had ripped the trophy from Bayern's grasp. It was the most dramatic, the most unbelievable, the most Fergie-time finish imaginable. The treble was theirs, secured in the heart of the impossible, the miracle of Istanbul, La Remontada. The treble of 99, 3 different matches, 3 different cities, 3 sets of heroes. Yet, they are all woven from the same immortal thread. They speak of resilience, of staring into the face of certain defeat and refusing to blink. They showcase the incredible power of belief, a force that flows from the stands onto the pitch and can will a ball into the back of the net. These stories resonate so deeply because they mirror our own hopes. They remind us that even when all seems lost, a single moment can change everything. That momentum is a real, tangible force, and in sport, as in life, it is never over until the final whistle blows. This is more than a game. It is a testament to the human spirit. It is the magic of football. Which of these incredible comebacks gave you goosebumps? Is there another legendary turnaround we missed? Tell us your favorite in the comments below. We read every single one. And if you don't want to miss our next deep dive into football's greatest moments, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. Share this video with a fellow fan who needs to see it, and most importantly, subscribe for more amazing content. You can check out our other videos on the history of the World Cup and football's biggest rivalries by clicking on the screen now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.